Natural Curves. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. I moved to San Francisco when I was 18 to go to San Francisco Art Institute. They really force you to be interdisciplinary there, so like I mostly did video, a little bit of sculpture in the beginning, and sound stuff, and graphic art. So like there's different modes I think that I work in. Like sometimes I'll start with a sample, start jamming along to it, and then start like chopping it up in there and build a song around the sample. But then sometimes I'll like hear a sound like in a record or in my head, like, and try to make that.
How do you classify your music? Like, how do you identify it? What is it?
Usually just say like electronic music, beat-oriented sometimes more ambient, and then like lately it's more up-tempo dance, electronic music. I always say this, like, it's kind of your job as an artist to reinterpret all these different forms of media coming at you, because I think like innovation is like taking something that already exists and changing it a little bit. When I first started listening to music, it was probably like classic rock and stuff, and then got into punk. By the time I was in middle school, I started listening to jazz and funk, R&B, hip-hop, anything I could find or whatever. When I first started making beats, it was just from records. Like DJing got me into making beats and using a sampler.
What did you have? What were you looking for?
Yeah, I had a Dr. Sample. Like, that's the first thing I got. The, what is it, 202? Didn't have a power supply, I had to put batteries in it. And it didn't have the smart media either, so I had to like make little loops and then send it to tape. And then like keep doing that process. Collaboration is that itch to step out of your comfort zone or out of your like normal way of thinking. I collaborated with Jonathan Wong. We had a project called Great Willow. We've known each other for a few years now, so sometimes we would just jam, like play instruments together, record it, cut it up later. A lot of the time we just do a jam and record it, and then like come home, work on it separately, and then come back and like edit together maybe.
And how would you know when it's done? Like,
that's
it's not
yeah.
something remixing a song.
Yeah, you know, you never know. Like, you can keep adding stuff. I could always keep changing songs. It's really hard for me to find that like point where it's like, all right, this is done.